Bienvenidos a otra clase de inglés para Salesforce. Hoy con Lucas Arana, la Tichi, Angie, la Tichi. Nada muy especial que quiero que la teacher la presente.
Now we switch, Cecilia, to English because all the people that are here connected today, they are still getting connected. They want just English. So let's profit from that. Can please, Ceci, introduce? It's a pleasure to have you here today with us. Thank you very much for your time. And I know that you are very busy, but you could make it today for us. So it's a pleasure to share our class today with you. So please introduce to all the people that are here today.
Happy to do that. And first, thank you for inviting me. My name is Cecilia Chiderski. Everybody calls me Cici.
Cici, okay.
And that happened actually when I moved to the US. Clearly, I'm from Argentina. Cannot hide the accent, so don't even try. You're not gonna hide your accent. No matter how many years you speak English. And I moved to the US 13 years ago after a couple of crazy things were going on in the country. That's when I really started learning Salesforce. Yeah.
Oh.
So for me, it's actually hard to speak Salesforce in Spanish. And that's how I actually got connected with you guys, because I was trying to get the Spanish view of Salesforce. I tried to record the video in Spanish and I couldn't.
The other way around. You have the other problem.
Exactly. Yeah. So I just think in English when I think Salesforce. So it was really shocking for me to listen all that in Spanish. And that's when I contact you guys and here we are, right? Hopefully it helps. It's a pleasure to be here. What I do with Salesforce, which you may want to know. I'm a solution architect. I design solutions, mainly focus on the quote to cash process, anything that starts with opportunity, quoting, and ends in the GL for accounting processing, going all the way from building those tools, like building custom quoting solutions if needed, and mainly the professional services industry, like time reporting, project management, things like that, revenue recognition, all that fun. So lately digging a lot into Agentforce, probably like everybody else. And getting familiar with that. So, happy to help, whatever I can do to help you guys.
Okay, I have a question before we begin with today's lesson. Are you specialized in Revenue Cloud or in CPQ?
So I have a CPQ certification, like the old managed package, like the steel brick managed package. But then
going to end of distribution, end of life.
Yeah, it's end of life. I will say though, it's still super useful because it has the foundation. But of course, that's going away. Now, when Revenue Cloud started, RCL or other, I don't even remember the first name that they came up with before even being Revenue Cloud. That's where RLM was the name. That's where I really jumped into, because it's a different animal. It's a new product that's much more.
It's more bigger than CPQ, right?
Much more.
It's big. It's much bigger or bigger, but not double comparative.
Okay, that's correct. Thank you. Cici, before we begin today's lesson, I want to make you some questions about Revenue Cloud and CPQ, because this is a really interesting topic for our audience. What is the main price difference between a license from CPQ from the equivalent license in Revenue Cloud?
Yeah. All I will say is a lot. I cannot give you pricing, but definitely there is a big gap and a big jump between one and the other. I think a couple of months ago, they came up with 2 different Revenue Cloud licenses. So it's not just one. It used to be just one. So you were stuck with, now they have more of an entry level, and then one that gives you more like the upscale. But I will say as well, though, is there is a lot of interest to get people on Revenue Cloud. So absolutely call your AE, your account executive, discuss options, discuss pricing, because definitely Salesforce wants to help in that move.
A lot of noise. And what are the main new features that we have inside Revenue Cloud that we don't have in CPQ?
That's a good question. You gotta start from a totally different architecture. It's not the
It's
same.
a managed package? Technically, no.
Well,
Yes or no?
no, it's not a managed package like CPQ was. So it works on core Salesforce objects, but of course, you need a license to access all those objects.
Okay, but you have to have Salesforce Core to use Revenue
Oh,
Cloud.
absolutely. Yeah, you gotta have your Salesforce. You gotta be on the Salesforce platform to use Revenue Cloud. Absolutely. Yes.
So-
Okay,
It's
here
not
if Israel says here that CPQ is for cotizaciones before the opportunity, and Revenue Cloud is more, it's bigger with better benefits. Would it be?
Well, yeah, that's a way to see it. So CPQ was for the quoting part. Quoting, actually, that's what CPQ means, right? I mean, like the configuring, quoting, and pricing, and then from there you will go to your opportunity. Revenue Cloud, of course, has the quoting piece, has the CPQ piece, but keeps expanding after that. So it goes beyond just the price. Not just that, the way that it does the CPQ part is much different and much more robust. The pricing architecture, completely different. They use the context definition. You will hear that a lot if you get into Revenue Cloud, to map different objects and different things. There is no such thing as the twin fields. CPQ has the twin fields. That goes away. That doesn't exist. You gotta do everything in your context definition.
I guess that Revenue Cloud is mostly built with Lightning Web Component and Apex.
Yeah, well, yes.
Do you have Aura components or Visual Force pages?
No, not at all. No, you're not going to find out there. And it's API headless, mean you can throw Agentforce on top, and they are trying to make it seamless for any kind of, again, AI readiness. Now, it's, in my opinion, it is more complex. You need a much more knowledge of the tool in order to get started. It helps a lot if you are coming from the CPQ managed package world, or if you had any experience with Omni Studio. They use Omni Studio to start building that. It's actually
technology. Omni Studio, we are talking about old technology.
Well, true, but like the pricing procedures, like to establish pricing, to calculate pricing in RCA, you will see that is the same that was in the old Velocity package, the industry CPQ that they started with, and it's totally different than the way that CPQ managed package used it.
Correct. That's correct. The last question about this, the last one. What is the what do you think about what is the correct way to go for a company that is using CPQ? Maybe not the 100% of the companies will have the capability to do a migration to Revenue Cloud. There is another alternative that you can say that is a good product.
There are tons of other products. Definitely RCA is not the only one. We actually did a Revenue Cloud roundtable with a lot of other Revenue Cloud consultants, I think a month ago or something like that, talking about like this Revenue Cloud really for prime time. We did one 2 months ago exactly about your topic, like the migration and how to tackle it and all that. And the reality is that it depends. It depends on your industry. It depends on your use case. It depends on your resources. Like, do you really have resources in-house that can maintain the Revenue Cloud?
You are not talking about economical resources.
Correct. People.
Okay.
Yeah, resources meaning human resources, like the right profiles, the right roles, the right technicals. You will need a developer in-house, which some companies don't have. You will need people that know how to work with the pricing procedures and all that. So there is a lot. It's a learning curve. Now, it's a super powerful.
I think that Cecilia should be invited to a master class as well.
Whenever you guys want me there, happy to help, happy to do it.
And we can see that perhaps, Cecilia, you are suntan, and I am white. I don't know if it is the light, but I see you suntan. I see me white. So we are in winter. You are in summer.
No. I'm in summer.
So I am wearing a sweater. It's very cold here in Argentina, in Buenos Aires today. So it's sunny, but it's cold.
Yeah, here is rainy. We are coming out of the summer. I was in Austin, Texas earlier this week, and the temperature was probably like, I don't know, 45 degrees in
degrees in centigrades would be
in Celsius. So in
Celsius would be
I would say 40 something.
40.
Yeah, it was hot.
Celsius degrees, 14,000 Celsius degrees.
Where in the USA are you special?
I'm in Ohio. But I was in Texas this past few days, and it was hot.
Okay, here Israel is saying that the Spanish speaker really suffers with the Salesforce exam, because not only do we need to know Salesforce, but also they need to understand the trap.
Absolutely. And that's a really good point, Israel, because in my opinion, when you are studying for an exam, it's a different type of study than when you're studying to learn the product. You are definitely wanting to learn the product. You want to know how to use it. You want to have hands-on. You want to be familiar with it. And the more you do that, the easiest it's going to be. But when you are trying to study for an exam, you absolutely need to know how the questions look like, especially for us, like Spanish speakers. It's extremely complicated if you are not ready. And I don't know are the questions for you guys in English or Spanish?
I think they are in English.
In English.
Oh, they are all in English. It's very difficult.
Yes.
They are in English.
Yes. When I made the AI exam, it was more difficult the understanding the questions than knowing the answer.
Yeah.
Okay. Here, Neto says that you have some extra minutes, fortunately, I think as an advantage, right? Or no? Perhaps.
Unfortunately,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah.
But anyway.
He wanted to say unfortunately. Yeah. You're absolutely right. And my recommendation is study the questions in English. When you are ready to keep going and get really into exam mode, when you are past the learning the product, switch to English, because that's gonna make you feel much, much comfortable by the time that you're in front of the computer. And I agree with you, Lucas. I did my Agentforce maybe a month ago or something like that, and I don't know what I would have done without any good English knowledge or any idea on how the exam will look like in English.
Yes.
Well, maybe we can do some extra, some classes, perhaps in the future, I don't know, to plan some classes connected with exams or questions, no? Those trap questions.
Would be great.
A mock exam with real question from an exam and try to understand the real meaning of that.
Okay.
Well, teacher, this is the time to begin with the content. Can you share your screen?
Yes, Lucas is sharing it, I think. Well, today, as I told you before, when we were preparing the class together with Lucas and Cecilia, that she gave us a hand, we are going to talk about how to present demos, I say, or demos, no, without nerves. Of course, it's very, very difficult not to get nervous when we have to speak in front of others or to give, because things can come up. No, I don't know if you agree with me, Ceci, but it's not always easy, or sometimes you may find some issues in between. So here, what are the things that we are going to see in the second, in the second one? If you can move forward. Okay, a key vocabulary that we are going to go through vocabulary and phrases needed for giving a presentation. Then useful expressions and phrasal verbs that you can also use in them. Okay, and perhaps, of course, what is important is to learn and to practice those things that you have to bear in mind when giving a presentation. So, look, if you go to the next one, first of all, what makes you nervous? What makes you feel nervous? Of course, when we are talking about giving a presentation, what do we mean by that? Ceci, whenever you had done a presentation, for example, here I said creating an opportunity, showing a report. What else can you show?
Yeah, so one of the things, of course, what you have there is key, right? I mean, the vocabulary, or like, oh, I made a mistake, or the system is super slow today, it's not working, or not getting the results that I was supposed to get, the agent did something wrong. We are all nervous about it. And let me tell you, no matter how many presentations you do, you're still going to have a little bit of that. But yeah, I mean, I will let you keep going because I know you're full of good resources.
Okay. So these are for getting key vocabulary, no? Sometimes your mind goes blank, no? So you don't know what to say, but how can I continue? Okay, there is always a word or something that of course, we say this, but it's difficult, but you have to keep quiet, calm, and go on, okay? And of course, we are facing technical issues. Sometimes we want to speak too quickly so as not to get other people bored. But the most important thing is to be clear and to express with specific vocabulary and expressions that we will tell you today. So here we are going to give you a presentation. Mastering here says model phrases. Okay, so Ceci, when a polite way to introduce a new section, for example, or functionality, how can you say that?
Yeah, so if you're, for example, doing a demo on a sprint demo, you just finish a sprint, you finish building something that you want to show the customer. You can say, you can start by, as we discussed some time ago, let me show you today the final product, or let me show you today where we are in the process. It's always good to start with a refresher of where you are coming from. You talk with the customer the day before and they told you, hey, can you quickly put together this for me? Hey, as we discussed yesterday, let me show you. So you kind of bring them, you ground them in what they are going to be seeing.
Okay, excellent. And what happens when you want to direct attention to a specific visual element on the screen? So there is another expression that you can say so as to confirm that the other people is paying attention, and because you're going to start with the demo. So there's another expression here that you can read, please, Ceci.
As you can see on the screen, that one to me is critical because you know that you're not sharing the right screen, right? Okay. So no matter what, you are going to join the call, you are going to share your screen, and it's going to be a different one. Always want to start with can everybody see this? Can everybody see Salesforce? Can everybody see the opportunity? You want to be really precise to make sure that the other side is seeing what you want them to see and not that chat that you don't want them to see.
Okay, great. And here we will start. We have some phrases and we also have some phrasal verbs that, Ceci, that of course, and you use them a lot, no? That it's something for the Spanish speakers. It's very difficult to, I don't know if apply or to use them, but they are very, very well used in native speakers, with just two words, a particle and a verb, that says everything, and they are great. So the more phrasal verbs you use, the more native you sound. Don't you agree with me, Ceci?
Yeah, you're totally spot on that, and that's something that these are the ones that in the beginning, like at the beginning of my presentations, like when I first started, I will have them on the side of my desk. Like I will just print, like take a screenshot of this and like put it there, because then when you join a call, then you just look to the side and it's right there. You don't need to remember them. And then as you do more and more, well, it will come naturally. You won't need that piece of paper there, but just take a screenshot.
What a practical advice that.
Okay, of course. Yes. Sorry. Juan Manuel, what did you say?
What a practical advice.
It helps a lot. And
What can
you guys cannot see this side of my workstation, but I have like a stack of Post-its, like the little yellow things, one after the other, with things that either I think that it sounds smart, so I want to have in hand, or things that even remind me to say something, or things that I'm not entirely sure I will remember when I'm saying whatever. Like it's right there. I don't need to remember. It's out of my brain. I have it there.
Great. Post-its, nobody see them. You can place it there and start using those expressions that as time goes by and you start using them, they will get stuck in your brain.
Great idea.
Yes, great idea. Yes.
I will use it.
I don't know if I here. If I don't know.
You can see, yes, there are.
Yes.
That's actually the ERD
Right.
approval workflow, because there is no way that I can remember all those objects. So I have an ERD right there. So when somebody calls me with a question, it's right
It's
there.
16:30.
Okay, well, those 1630s, you will sound sometimes Juan Manuel's clock, that is like a bomb. If you hear that, something is coming. So it gets on my nerves. Not the demo, but Juan Manuel's clock. Lucky, can you go backwards? The one that was before, the phrases first. Okay, here. So first of all, okay, of course, we have good morning, good afternoon. Okay, we don't say good evening in general, right? Forgive me.
And that's something that we need to make the switch as Spanish speakers, because the evening is really when the day is ending. So unless you are doing a presentation with somebody else, typically you will do a good morning or good afternoon.
Okay, and not even good night. Remember that good night is when you go to bed and you give a kiss to your son and you say good night, have a nice dream, and that's it. The end, even more. Okay, the end. So thank you for joining today. It's a great expression for just relaxing. Start your presentation. Even thanks to the people there. And here, well, I added some phrases so as to start with confidence, okay? Because the first impression counts a lot. So I'm excited to share this demo with you, okay? And the last one, Ceci, what does it say here? Before?
Yeah, like before we start, I like to introduce myself. I like to briefly introduce myself and the topic. Try to make it come naturally. But that's if you are having people in the room or in the audio that you did not talk before, you want to do that. They have no idea.
Exactly. So it's nice to prepare the first phrase so as by heart, no? Okay, or from memory. So as to have confidence, okay? I know that phrase I studied. I will start with energy, with confidence. I trust myself, and then you go, okay? So now we have some phrases so as to
a great
start the demo. Exactly. a handy list of phrases that you may use while introducing or starting the presentation. And we have something, which is the first one we have here, Lucas, the one that you use for starting something. Okay. Do you use this one to kick off, Ceci?
Oh, I use the time kickoff. Like it's super, like it's used everywhere. So when you're starting, or you can also say, if you don't like kickoff because it sounds weird, say, let's get started by, or let me get started with. So you can choose your own, but you want that opening, yeah.
Okay, great. Yes. And how about, Ceci, when you have to explain step by step? So what is the expression that you use?
Yeah, walk through, another one. I use it all the time. Like I will walk you through the process of creating a record, or I will walk you through this new feature that we put out there for you, or I will walk you through this flow, something technical. So the walkthrough is like let's look at it together, right? I mean, let me show you.
Yes. So this is another one. And when you have to point out something, to highlight, to show something in particular that you want them to focus their attention, which is the other phrasal verb that we have here?
The point out, another one. Yeah, I mean, I'd like you to point out a key feature. I'd like you to point out this update that we made based on what we talked about. I'm a little bit maybe too energetic. I like in those cases also maybe saying like, I'd like you to point you to this feature. I personally love it. Like kind of put the emotion, make the connection. It's okay to show that you love something that you did for the customer. If you love it, like don't fake it. But if you really, really like it, it's totally fine to say, let me point this out for you because I'm really excited about this feature.
Great. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. So now let's move to the next one. That these are phrases to save time and to breathe. Okay. Now that we have already talked about the beginning of the demo, what we are going to show, the steps that we are showing or we are going to walk through, okay, or perhaps the specific. We have some phrases so as to move on, to continue with the presentation. If you like to read the first, Lucas, and then we will give some time to Ceci to read the rest.
Okay. Let's take a moment to look at the feature before we continue. I'll give you a second to take this in.
Okay. In what case, Ceci, you would like to or you will use? I give you a second to take a look at this. In a demo, you are perhaps explaining a specific characteristic you want to deal with in deep.
Yeah, and I will say, if you're showing something that, let's say, for example, that you're showing them a new automation that you put together, and in the demo, you click a button and then things happen in the screen, and then suddenly it looks fantastic and everything is perfect. As you describe what happened, you can pause and be like, I know it was a lot. Let's take a moment for you to digest all what you saw, or I will give you a second to take this in. I know it's a lot. When you kind of like just threw too much at once to the customer, or when you were like talking too much. The last one is, I mean, I literally have a post-it with that because I forget to pause. So it's like before I continue, does anybody have a question? Or let me pause right here. Does anybody have anything to say? And also kind of like to feel the room. But yeah, I mean, those are really, really useful to have handy. Another one to screenshot and put on the side.
Yes. So perhaps having some planned pauses that will allow you to breathe and slow down, because sometimes we are so nervous that perhaps we want to speed up. We make things fast and perhaps it's confusing for us. We get lost. So it helps us to be more clear with the rest and also help us to slow down and to get more relaxed.
Yeah.
So perhaps it could be a question to say, does anyone have any question, or would you like me to go on? Is there anything that you would like to ask me? Okay, so as to go on and continue with the rest of the presentation. Don't you agree, Ceci?
Yeah.
Yes.
A great tip, Angie.
Yes, because it happens to all of us. And we are in a meeting, we are with a client, we are whoever we are with. We want to speed up. I don't know why, but if our nerves lead us to do that, to speed up, and the most important thing is to give the message clear. This is the main aim or the objective.
The most important thing right now is to talk about the WhatsApp group. Please tell us what is that.
Do what?
Our WhatsApp group.
Okay, yes.
You
Lucas, can you please? Yes, we have Ceci, we have a group, a WhatsApp.
Oh, I'm in there. Oh, I'm totally in there.
Yes, but in the English as well?
I think so.
No, I saw you in the master class English. Sorry, in the Juan Manuel's. But I haven't seen you in the English.
Like that.
Okay, but I don't know if Lucas is sharing the link or so as to join in the group. So there we usually tips, well, the recording of the classes, of course, but many times a week we share, and perhaps not so frequently, but people ask for any doubts. So it's a group that the idea is to share things connected with English, our English classes for Salesforce. Here, Ernesto is making a question, a very interesting question, that what is the best way to recover when you get stuck on a word while speaking English? So my first instinct is to say the word in Spanish, and I don't think it's correct, but that's how it comes out. Very good. Comes out, another phrasal verb, appears, okay? Very good, Ernesto. Yes, sometimes we naturally switch to Spanish. I don't know if the other person knows Spanish. No, perhaps the other person is a Brazilian person, and perhaps that person can get the word. But sometimes, I don't know, you're speaking with an American person or an English person, I don't know, and they would not get that word. Always a way so as to express that word in a phrase, Ernesto. I don't know, you may not find that word, but I'm sure that you can express it in another way. I don't know if it is the answer for that. I don't know what Ceci, Juan Manuel, Lucas.
Yeah, I mean, I think that no matter how good you are at English, that's going to happen. What's that word? And you just will get used to say something around that word. Like, you don't need the word, just Angie, like you were saying, like you just need to describe what you are trying to say.
Yes.
As long as you feel comfortable with that and you don't get stuck with that word. And that's the other thing, is if you make a mistake, you say a word that is wrong, just keep going. I mean, probably nobody is harder than you. Like, forget about that. That's a word in the past. Like, just don't get stuck in there and just keep moving.
Exactly. I agree with you. Yes, try to find a synonym. If not, try to rephrase that sentence or to start all over again. I mean, if you start, I remember going to a shop long time ago in the USA, and I wanted to buy a collator. It says like this, and I didn't know how to say that. So I was just explaining that I wanted to eat pasta, and I wanted that bowl where I make a phrase, yes, you need a collator. Well, but I was like stuck. No, I need to find the word. I mean, how can I say? Well, in those times, of course, we didn't have GPT or whatever. I couldn't go with the dictionary all over the town. But yes, don't get stuck. Okay. Well, here explaining features. Ceci, what are the phrasal verbs connected with explaining features in a demo?
Well, so zoom in on, I personally don't use it. I use more the focus. Yes, it's just easier to say if you want, but you can say, let's focus on this. Let's this particular part of the screen or things like that. Break down all the time, the time. Break down in like the taking something and putting it in smaller chunks, in smaller pieces. So let me break down this for you. Let me break down this process. Let me break down how this flow is working behind the scenes. So it's taking something big and making it like in smaller pieces.
Exactly. The idea is to, I mean, a big chunk of presentation to explain it in simpler parts, no? And that way you are breaking it down. So the other one is, as Ceci says, focus on or zoom in on. It's not there is a mistake, because at the beginning it's zoom in on. No, it's zoom in on something, okay? Or as Ceci says, focus on something. And the last one, Ceci?
Show off, like the idea of like, oh, I'm excited to show off our new AI reports, or like to show you, to demonstrate, to showcase. I use a lot we are here today to walk through, like you mentioned it earlier, I think, like, and it's kind of like along the same line. So pick the one that you like the most, right? There
Exactly.
is no size fits all. I mean, it's whichever one when you practice, because you gotta practice, you feel more comfortable with.
Exactly. I don't know if show off, because in fact, show off only when you say, okay, Ceci is showing off her new pair of shoes. Perhaps it may sound a little bit negative. I don't know if you agree with me.
It's like, oh, you are trying to show off. Like,
exactly.
Yes,
it's like, I don't know, Lucas is showing off his new device that he has just bought, no? Perhaps it may sound a little bit selfish, no? I would say proud, no? Or negative connotation.
Yeah.
But it is used. Sometimes I have heard people saying, I'm excited to show off or our new report, because in fact there is a lot of work behind. So we are showing off what we did.
It also depends on what you are showing. Like if you are showing a crazy, awesome new feature, the customization that you put together, a crazy problem you solve for the customer, or something like that, sure, show off. I mean, go.
Exactly. Great. Okay, so then move to another part of the demo. Here, handling errors, but in a graceful way, because no demo is perfect. I think that we have to, be conscious that we may find unexpected technical glitches or perhaps some problems. The most important thing is, of course, to keep calm and get going. So how about technical issue, Ceci, that we have here?
Yeah, I mean, it will happen. It's not a matter of like, if it will happen, it will happen. So, yep, since we have a small issue, let's refresh the page. And when you refresh, the problem is still there. It's like, well, seems that this is just not cooperating today. This is not helping today. Let's move to the next one. Like, don't start like troubleshooting.
Okay, and how about feature not loading, Lucas? That perhaps this happened to you as well.
Yes, it happens a lot. I don't know what to do there. This feature isn't responding right now, but usually it allows you to.
Okay, and for example,
it's difficult to say that.
Yes, you have to move on as well, as Ceci said. And what happens when you forget a step? Okay, you are going through the demo and you forget a step. You forgot your step. So, Lucas, what do you say?
Apologies. Let me go back and show you that again.
Okay,
That's not a big problem because you can solve it, but the second one is a great problem.
Okay, yes. Also, says here, Israel, when the segmentation in data cloud doesn't generate, no? Like you think, for example,
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And when you say sorry, okay, it says you say, my apologize, I'm sorry, I will go back to the previous feature. No, what do you agree on that? No?
Yeah, totally. Like, oh, sorry, seems that we forgot something here. Let's go back a step. Let's.
Yes, you have to sound naturally. I mean, we all make mistakes, and it's part of being a human being. So the more relaxed you are, the better. No, so I think, of course, it's difficult. It's a work that we all have to do. We all get nervous in front of a new client, a new project, but we have to do our best not to get nervous. And filling time. Well, I don't know. It sounds like, I have to fill time here. Ceci, would you like to read it, please?
Yep. Yeah, this one, it's a classic one. Well, it's loading. Let me explain the process in more detail. This is funny because this morning, I was recording a video and an agent for Spain, and the agent was taking forever. And I'm like, I don't know what else to say here. I already said all my phrases.
You have to call Juan Manuel there.
I want to say something. To say something. This is a reflection. Cici, you have a wonderful brain. You are awesome. You have to be here again. A really powerful pronunciation of the English, because you are very smart and live there, but you are an architect. So I think that you have a lot of value to share with all our community. So you have to be here again.
But you know what we are gonna do? We will do the live one from Dreamforce.
Ah, great. Yes. Together. And I think of that class will be also Jason. I don't know.
That would be awesome.
Yes, he told me that perhaps he would be there as well. So we will have two geniuses joining there on that day from Dreamforce. Yes.
We will do a live broadcast inside the Salesforce Tower. So I will reach you using WhatsApp to get all of your personal info, so I can give you access to inside the Salesforce Tower.
Yep, that will be awesome. That will be fun.
I have something more to say, teacher.
Yes, of course. Yes.
A little bird told me that next month you will be live inside the Salesforce offices.
Yes, we will be here in Buenos Aires, in Puerto Madero, in Salesforce offices, giving our English class from there. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so we will be holding the class from there. So it will be great to have you all there with us again. So it's a pleasure. It's a very nice view. You have been there, Ceci, already?
No,
because you have been.
I go pretty often to Buenos Aires, but I've never been in that tower.
Okay, once you come here, you will be invited as well. Many people say that, Ceci, your English is very clear and they understand everything that when you explain. Great.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad to see that. I'm glad it's helpful.
Here says Puerto Madero, Wooden Harbor. Very nice translation. Juan Manuel no cayó todavía en el chiste. Wooden Harbor es Puerto Madero, Juan Manuel. Did you understand?
Yes.
Okay. No, Cecilia is not native speaker. Cecilia has been, Van is asking if you are a native speaker, and Cecilia, you have been there for?
Porteña de alma, no. Sí, acá, pero la cocina.
Bueno, eso es, of course, Ceci has been living in the USA with 24-hour exposure to English, but it means that you can get a very good English and fluent English if you keep on working and studying. So it is possible.
See, okay. You have a very good English because you are a genius.
Oh, yeah. So you, like, for all the people in the chat, like, take advantage of this. because I didn't have that. Like for me, it was like just figure it out and learn it. You guys have all these resources, which are fantastic. So use them as much as you can.
Yes. It's a pity. Unfortunately, we cannot get every classes every week. We don't know in the future. We will see later on. Nobody knows, but we are meeting every 15 days.
Well, wait, we have a class every week, but 1 week is English for Salesforce, and another week is a master class for Salesforce, a technical one, then an English class, then a technical one, and so on. But we don't know in the future.
Yes, we don't know. Many people get, they register for the classes and they see them record them, because the thing is that at 4 here in Buenos Aires, the Argentinian people are still working. So it's we are, as I told you, we are trying to find the best hour for all the Salesforce ecosystem, because it's very difficult to please all the people from Latin America, Europe, so Mexico. We have people from Brazil as well, so it's quite difficult. So that's why many people see the class from the recording. That's why we have many people register for this class as well. So, bueno, Juan Manuel, then you tell me when the classes will be uploaded in YouTube.
Okay, everybody that is registered in this lesson will receive tomorrow an email with the link to the recording. And next week, everybody will be able to find the recording of this lesson in www.egafutura.com.
Great. Well, we will give you everything later on. Okay.
We have only 5 to 10 minutes.
We have some 5 things to go on. Here, how to handle errors. Okay. Here, it seems there is a small glitch. Let's refresh and continue. And here, while we fix this, let me explain the next step. Thank you for your patience. Always is very, very important to thank or to ask for apologizes and to say, well, thank you for your patience. These things may happen, not to express your feelings so as to relax a little bit more. And this reduces the fear of unforeseen events that may happen. Don't you agree, Ceci?
Yeah, and it's going to happen. Like, it, no matter what, sooner or later, it will happen.
Yes, things come up. Okay, and so as to handle errors, some phrasal verbs that we think of, Lucky, in the next one would be, okay, when you encounter a problem, when you face a problem, Ceci, which is one of those phrasal verbs that are very well used?
Yeah, like if we run into an error, like run into is, it just happened. Like you had a problem. I run into a problem, right?
And when you want to fix it, when you want to resolve it, how do you say that?
Yeah, sort out, or even fix. If you don't want to remember the sort out, you can totally say, let's fix it, let's resolve it, let's troubleshoot, and those are totally well accepted.
Okay, and well, here something that you usually have to do is to remember to save or protect the data, okay, or to go back to that, and you will say,
remember to back up your data, always back up before a deployment, always back up because before migration, like those kind of things. Yeah.
Okay, and when you want to begin, okay, to start all over again, there you have another way.
Start over. Like you're like, oh, let's start over with a clean setup or a clean page or whatever it is. The other one that is not in here that I use a lot is step back.
Yes.
very, very common. Everybody uses it here, which is like, let's step back. Let's go one step behind. Like, let's go to the previous step. That's also
17 hours.
Okay, and now before finishing, Luki, the last one is to sum up, so as to finish with the demo and wrapping up. Okay, to give a quick recap, you say to sum up. No, to sum up, we created. Okay, and then you explain so as to finish with the demo. When you will continue later, Ceci, what do you say?
follow up. And there is always a follow up action. Like, you're doing a demo because something gotta happen later.
Okay.
An email, whatever it is, there is a follow up.
Okay, great. And perhaps if Lucas is going on and Ceci have just finished with her part, then Lucas, will you say that? For example, I will.
Sorry, I don't listen.
Okay. No, with handover. Yes, to hand over is to pass the control to somebody, right? So, for example,
Yes.
what do you want to read? The last sentence. I will hand over.
I'll
Yes.
hand over to Maria for the Q&As.
Okay, all the questions. So Maria will be in charge of the questions and answers, and she will hand over this. Okay, she will take control of the demo and all the things that will come next. Here, I don't know, Juan Manuel, if we are just to finish, but I will give you the last thing that we have here. It's like a summary of what we have seen today. We will be giving you all this information through the WhatsApp as well, the slides with all the things that we did here. We have here, Juan Manuel, for next class, Lucas, if you go to page 14, slide 14, I wanted to give you, but perhaps we will be doing this next class. It's a clear guide for the verb tenses needed for giving a demo. Yes, this one. We will go through this, although it's a bit boring to talk about tenses, Ceci, but we need to know when we are using each tense and why. Okay, so we will go through this in our next class, because I think we need to have a second part of this class.
There's a lot for demos, and I think I don't want to jump into the way that you guys normally do it, but I think, like, if people tell you what they think, like if this is a topic that they care about, I think it's a super hot topic, because that's where you get the most nervous when you are in front of people. An email, you can translate it. You don't need that much help. That, like, the in-person is always
Yeah, so we will keep on working on this next class, of course, and we will focus on these things that we couldn't cover today, because it was a pleasure to have Ceci here.
Really a pleasure. Thank you very much, Ceci. Thank you.
My pleasure to be here. Thank you guys for inviting me. It was really fun, and I love it. So anytime.
Okay, it's time to say hello and see you next week.
Hello or goodbye. It's time to say
Thank you very much,
goodbye.
Ceci.
We are going to say hello with music. Bye.